Hi there, I'm Keith Scott-Mumby and I'd like to introduce you to an interesting project I've been working on recently. It's summed up in this one CD here, Love, Gratitude and Forgiveness, and the subtitle, Brain Entrainment and Rich Words to Enhance Your Life Experience. What does all that mean? Well, first of all, let me tell you, as an MD, I can promise you that there's an awful lot of good science about the healing powers, the de-stressing powers, the very good things that can be yours, physiologically and health-wise, from forgiveness and the ability to feel gratitude and from sharing love and so on. That's a given. So what I've done is coupled some tracks with some wonderful, wise words and words that will, I hope, change your perspectives and how you think, coupled with some brain enhancement technology. Now that perhaps needs a little bit of explaining. I'm talking now about binaural beats. There are various ways you can bring about brain entrainment. Flashing lights is one, isochronic tones, but I've used binaural beats on this CD. What happens there is we play two different sounds in each ear, or two different frequencies in each ear, and your brain will respond to the difference. So if the difference is about 10 hertz, one's say 440 and one's 430, the brain will respond to the 10 hertz difference, and that just happens to be alpha brainwave frequency. Better than that is a slightly lower frequency still, around 5 to 8 hertz, 4 to 8 hertz, and we call that theta. Now, like it sounds, it has a lot to do with our spiritual state. Theta is when we're in a rather deeper trance, a meditative mood. And the fascinating thing with modern electronic technology is you can produce the same states as meditative conditioning, like Buddhist meditation, Zen Buddhist meditation, which might take a person 30 years or more to achieve in the normal way. You can get exactly the same brain response patterns in a matter of minutes, literally less than 10 minutes. So what I've done is coupled, as I say, there are three tracks here. One is about love, one is about gratitude, and hey, one is about forgiveness, obviously, from the title. But these are coupled with binaural beats to take you off into this very healing, very contemplative and restorative brain state. Added to that is some beautiful serene music too, right? Now, you probably heard binaural beats before and you may have been disappointed that they all seem to want to do raindrops, the sound of spattering rain with secret binaural messages hidden in it. I've got to tell you, it works just as well as if you're listening to beautiful music or somebody talking. So it's really been an interesting project and people are already getting amazing results on this. But let me give you an example of the things that there's a Buddhist metta meditation for great love and forgiveness and kindness towards others. My personal favorite is Hawaiian Ho'oponopono, which is really all about love and forgiveness. And it's very powerful. You can actually not just change your own mental state, you can change it in those people around you simply by the acts of powerful forgiveness. And of course, what makes it more powerful is using a CD like this and this kind of technology, you get into this enhanced brain state. It's not just that the brain goes to theta, but both sides of the brain goes to theta. So you get right and left brain coherence. That's not normal in the way that we think and behave. It's a rare state. Whereas, since the latter half of or latter quarter, I should say, perhaps, of the 20th century, we've had all this high fidelity stereo ability. So now we can play sounds in each ear. We've therefore been able to create brain waves and brain integration states that were just not available before. But as Robert Monroe showed, the founder of the Robert Monroe Institute, this will often lead to things like out-of-body experiences, transcendental experiences, remote viewing and so on. There's no question that if you go into theta state, that you become extremely powerful and well connected with higher power and these other dimensions that we know and love so much. So, healing and restorative, you'll find that people around you respond, people that you forgive will start to work their way back towards you. And listen, don't get caught in that childish thing of saying, I'm not forgiving them, that just lets them off. That's not the point. The point is it lets you off. That's the end of your suffering and the end of your connection with that experience. Listen, if you can't forgive, it means you're attaching yourself to a state or a happening that's never going to occur, which is that the past should be different. You know that's never going to happen. The past is the past. It's not going to change. The only thing that will change is your response to it. And that's where forgiveness comes in. So who cares whether the other person gets away with it, as it were? It's not the issue. The issue is that you feel good and create a new self. And hey, what do you know? The person that hurt you in the past will often come back towards you and say, I'm really sorry, didn't mean to do that. Anyway, you can find out more about this kind of approach to health and healing and mental agility and mental vitality and the spiritual dimension of life by going and checking on the website here, Advanced Mind Strategies. I've got quite a lot of websites. Another one you might like to try, Food for the Mind and Fire for the Soul and foodforthemind.com. I'll say that again. It's not that difficult to remember, but it's a long thing to type in. Food for the Mind and fireforthesoul.com. Okay, check it out. I think you'll be interested.